What happens when knowledge becomes temptation? What happens when human beings are given intellect, revelation, guidance, and still choose corruption? And what happens when even the unseen realm becomes part of that test? The story of Harut and Marut is not simply about magic, it is about accountability. It is about the limits of power. And it is about a test so profound that its consequences are set to echo until the day of judgment. Their names are mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al Baqarah, but their story begins before Babylon, before their descent, in a moment of divine decree. The world had witnessed the reign of Suleiman, known to the children of Israel as Solomon. Across Jews, Christians, and Islamic traditions, Solomon is remembered as a king of extraordinary wisdom. In Islamic belief, he was also a prophet, granted command over the wind, the jinn, and vast dominion. His kingdom symbolized harmony between spiritual authority and worldly power. But after his death, distortion crept in. Certain groups began spreading scrolls filled with magical formulas and occult practices, claiming that Solomon had used sorcery to control the unseen. Islam firmly rejects this accusation. Solomon did not disbelieve, he did not practice magic. Devils did. This distortion planted a dangerous seed, the belief that power could be achieved through manipulation of hidden forces rather than obedience to God. And that belief found fertile ground in one particular city, Babylon. Babylon was not merely a location, it was a symbol, a city of towering structures and advanced scholarship, a place of astronomical study, linguistic development, and legal systems. In Jewish and Christian scripture, Babylon often represents a rebellion against divine authority, a civilization reaching impressive heights while drifting spiritually. In Islamic tradition, Babylon becomes the stage of a divine examination. It was here, according to Islamic belief, that Harut and Marut were sent down, not randomly, not without purpose, but by divine decree. Islamic tradition describes that the angels once observed the corruption spreading among humanity, bloodshed, injustice, disobedience. Some narrations suggest that the angels questioned how human beings, honored with free will and guidance, could descend into such wrongdoing. Angels do not experience desire. They do not experience ego, jealousy, or temptation in the human sense. Their nature is obedience. So a decree was made. Two angels would descend to earth. Their names Harut and Marut. They were sent specially to the land of Babylon in the reign historically associated with present-day Iraq, near the ancient territories between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This location was not symbolic only, it was deliberate. Babylon was already a center of occult practices. If humanity sought forbidden knowledge, then the test would meet them there. Islamic narrations describe that Harut and Marut resided in or near Babylon itself. Some traditions describe them as being in a known place where people could approach them openly. They were not hidden in secrecy. They did not disguise themselves as sorcerers. They were known as being sent with a specific purpose. Anyone who came to them seeking knowledge heard the same clear statement first. We are only a trial, do not disbelieve. This warning is essential. They did not invite corruption. They clarified consequence. But human beings continue to approach. The Quran states that from them people learned that which could cause a separation between husband and wife. Why is this emphasized? Because the family unit is the core of society. To divide spouses is to destabilize communities. The magic taught involved psychological manipulation, influence, and techniques that affected perception and relationships. But one principle remained absolute. They could not harm anyone except by permission of Allah. Magic was never independent power. It operated only within the boundaries of divine will as part of the test. This is crucial in Islamic theology. The real examination wasn't whether magic existed. The real examination was whether humans would pursue it after being warned, and many did. Although Harut and Marut are mentioned specifically in the Quran, the theme of heavenly beings connected to forbidden knowledge appears in Jewish tradition as well. Certain Jewish narratives speak of divine beings descending and humanity being exposed to dangerous knowledge. In Christian theology, Babylon later becomes a powerful symbol in the New Testament, representing moral seduction and worldly corruption. Across all three Abrahamic traditions, one pattern repeats. When humanity seeks power without submission to God, spiritual decline follows. But Islam maintains a defining distinction. Harut and Marut were not fallen angels. They did not rebel. They carried out a command. The sin belonged to humanity. Some traditional narrations discussed by scholars over centuries add further details. According to certain reports, Harut and Marut were exposed to human temptations during their earthly mission. These narrations describe a scenario in which they experienced the reality of human weakness, leading to consequences decreed by God. Scholars have differed regarding the authenticity of these reports. However, one commonly circulated narration states that they were given a choice between punishment in this world or punishment in the hereafter. They choose punishment in the world. According to traditional accounts found in classical Islamic literature, Harut and Marut are said to be suspended in a location in Babylon, described metaphorically or literally as being confined within a well or subterranean space. Some narrations describe them as being suspended upside down as a form of earthly punishment. Other scholars interpret these reports symbolically or question their chain of transmission. What remains widely mentioned in traditional storytelling is this: they remain in that state until the day of judgment. They continue to represent the consequences of engaging with dangerous knowledge. Whether understood literally or allegorically, their continued existence until the day of resurrection serves as a reminder. The test did not end with their descent, it extends through history. According to the traditional belief, they will remain in their decreed condition until Yom Al-Qiyamah, the day of resurrection. On that day, divine justice will be fully manifested. Every individual who sought magic, practiced it, or traded faith for worldly influence will face accountability. As for Harut and Marut, Islamic orthodoxy maintains that angels ultimately act only by divine command. Whether their final state, it rests entirely within divine wisdom and justice. The story does not present them as villains nor as heroes, but as instruments of a divine examination. The story of Harut and Marut is not about superstition. It is about responsibility in the face of knowledge. Babylon symbolizes intellectual brilliance without spiritual restraint. Harut and Marut symbolize that knowledge itself can become a Troy. The people who approach them symbolize humanity's recurring pattern, seeking shortcuts to power, desiring control over destiny, preferring influence over obedience. And this pattern did not end in ancient Mesopotamia. Today, humanity holds power once unimaginable. We can alter genetics, manipulate information, influence emotions at global scale. The tools are different, but the temptation is identical. Knowledge without reverence becomes corruption. Power without accountability becomes destruction. The warning given in Babylon still echoes. We are only a trial. Harut and Marut descended under the sky of Babylon thousands of years ago. They warned clearly. They fulfilled their mission. Some choose faith, others choose power, and according to traditional belief, they remain suspended between heaven and earth until the final hour. Their story forces one question upon every generation. When knowledge stands before you and power is within reach, will you choose obedience or control? Because the trial did not end in Babylon. It never did.